Let's take a look at what is trending in the world of social media and entertainment this morning. And moving on to the neighboring country, that is in Tanzania. Top Tanzanian artist, that is Rose Muhando, last Sunday, that is June 4th, was arrested on suspicion of fraud. And it is alleged that on November 3rd last year, Muhando received Tanzanian shillings 800,000, an equivalent of 37,000 Kenyan shillings, from the chairman of AICT Church in Singida, after accepting to grace the launch of the church's choir album, but she did not actually grace that particular event. And Rose Muhando was added an additional 6,900 Kenyan shillings, that's around 150,000 Tanzanian shillings, to grace the event, but still she did not grace the event, which was slated for November the 13th. And yesterday the church choir chairman, that is, his name is Japheth, claims that he has been in constant communication with Rose Muhando just to make sure she refunds the money, but she literally refused, prompting him to engage the services of the police who arrested him. And moving on to another story across not actually across the borders, but back into the country, that is in Kenya. A traffic officer from Zimmerman has won the hearts of many Kenyans on social media after a video of him preaching at the top of his voice on the streets went viral, and the traffic police officer can be seen dressed in police uniform, and his name is Pastor Afande, that is what he refers to himself, was preaching out about salvation in a bid to win more souls back to the Lord. And he says in one of the lines that usiende kukaa kwa dhambi hata bunduki ya G3 haiwezi kunisaidia kuingia binguni. Basically means that I am a traffic police officer and I'm entitled to holding a gun, but even my gun will not help me access heaven if my deeds are not right. Let's listen into a small bit of that particular video.
Wakati umekwisha, ukiendelea kukaa kwa dhambi, ukiendelea kukaa hapo bila kujielewa wewe mwenyewe, Yesu akirudi atakuuliza. Hata polisi niliwatuma wakakuja wakawaambia Yesu anarudi, wewe ulifanya nini? Kwa sababu pesa itakusaidia, hata utajiri itakusaidia, masomo haiwezi kusaidia. Ndio kwa sababu mimi kama polisi nimesema.
Alright, anasema masomo haiwezi kusaidia. Yeye kama polisi ana bunduki, na hiyo bunduki haiwezi msaidia kuingia mbinguni if his deeds are not right. That is Pastor Afande. The video has since gone viral and social media and online users are abuzz in talking about it. And on to another story. Last weekend, American rapper Omarion was in the country for the Afropop Festival, which was held here in the capital on Saturday, June 3rd. And during his tour, he tested a bit of the Maasai culture by donning Maasai shukas and even participating in a Moran dance, just to show that he connects with the Kenyan beat. And Kenyans took to social media to applaud the 32-year-old rapper's dance moves. Let's take a look at that video of Omarion actually wearing Maasai shukas and even dancing to the Moran songs. Alright, that is Omarion right there, the Let Me Hold You rapper. Kibuts, I just called you Kibuts.
100.
Kibuts, what do you think about that?
Love it.
You love it?
Love it.
Yeah, that shows at least if you come to Rome, or rather if you come to Kenya, do as the Kenyans do, and Omarion really nailed it on that. And moving on to another story, which is a bit unfortunate. Drama ensued at Tanas Estate in Nakuru County Tuesday morning after a 56-year-old man was caught in the act with his sister-in-law. And a night of illicit passion turned into a dawn of shame after the couple screamed for help, only to realize that they could not extricate themselves. And according to the man's wife, that is Margaret Nabwire, she claims that her man has been philandering ever since time immemorial. That's what she said. And her efforts rather to try and bring her man back on board into the acts of fidelity proved no success, and so she decided to seek the services of a witch doctor in Kisii town. Alright, this is what happened. the man and his wife actually sold a parcel of land in Kisii town and used the money, and they were supposed to use the money to buy a car and plunge it back into business, family business. But instead of going to Mombasa, because the man had told his wife that he was headed to Mombasa to buy the car, he took his sister-in-law with him and stopped by Nakuru, booked themselves into a lodging facility and engaged in the act. That is when the woman actually who saw the services of a witch doctor managed to nab her husband and her sister doing what they were doing.
You know, Brian, I'm trying to understand the pictures that we are running, because at some point, now what is that? What exactly is going on?
Now that is what
is this?
Actually, that's the witch doctor holding those particular items, and her name is Annette Mudeo.
Holding what?
Holding Kamuti.
Right. The lock.
Yes, that is the lock actually. And she refers
Why
to
do I
it
feel
as
like the
Kamuti.
moral of this story is let's maybe not go to witch doctors, but I don't know. Let's move on.
Yeah, there are two morals if you ask me. Let's not go to witch doctors, and actually
also don't sleep with your brother-in-law.
Yes, in relationship, just be faithful to your partners, because probably if you decide to go to the next door, that is your sister-in-law, brother-in-law, you never know what will happen.
We love relationship advice from you, Brian.
It is so wrong, actually. Alright, moving on to another interesting story, but to the father Nigeria. That is to the father country in Nigeria. A Nigerian bishop, namely Daniel Obinim, has sensationally claimed to have the ability to communicate with God on phone. Yes, you heard it right. And in an interview, in a recent interview with a Nigerian media outlet, Obinim claimed that Jesus Christ often talks to him on WhatsApp. Wait for it, that is still not the shocker. Now, a senior officer by the name Maxwell Mahanam died recently, and Obinim, that is the bishop, claims that he sought advice from Jesus as to whether he should pray for the senior army officer so that he claims back his health. But according to him, he says Jesus texted him not to, because the man was a sinner.
Well, Jesus is texting him. Who is texting you, Brian?
I wish Jesus was texting me. But again, this pastor, the other day... The
moral of this story is check your contacts.
Just check your contacts. You never know if Jesus will text you.
Oh my Lord.
Alright, and the other day, still on the pastor story, the other day we ran a story about a particular pastor in Zimbabwe who claimed that he could talk to God on phone and even called God while he was delivering a sermon. And the believers were actually convinced that he was talking to God. It just shows how religion matters, though sensitive they are, but sometimes we can be brainwashed by these so-called men of God. We just better be careful, because I don't believe Jesus has a phone with a particular phone number which he uses to text people on
according
phone.
To you, Brian.
Yeah, that's according to me. That's according to me.
Brian,
but even as we're still talking about matters binguni, there is a song by Willie Paul, and I'm so sure Willie Paul will oppose this pastor's school of thought by saying binguni hakuna simu, because Willie Paul has released a song on June 1st. He released a song by the name Degree, and in that particular song Willie Paul claims that you don't need a degree to be successful in life, or even awards, because binguni Mungu, these are his words, Mungu hana degree, malaika hawana degree, so you don't need that particular degree or award to make it to heaven. Let's listen in a bit to Willie Paul's song, then we see our online news reaction.
Wacha nikushow siri moja, hutaji digiri kuingia heaven. Wacha nikushow siri moja, hutaji ya watu kuingia heaven. Wacha nikushow siri moja, hutaji digiri kuingia heaven.
Alright, that is Willie Paul saying you don't need a degree to access the heaven gate, because binguni hakuna
But what's
degree.
the controversy? Because you're saying what's the controversy about this?
The controversy about it is the online users are questioning whether is it really gospel, and what kind of moral lesson is he giving to the children out there, that you don't need your education to be successful in life or be enlightened? Alright, these are some of the samples of the online users' reactions that I managed to pick from Twitter and Facebook. And Joy Gaki says, guys, don't let Willy Posey lie to you that you don't need a degree to survive. He has kind of made it in life, so apparently he doesn't necessarily need one. But as for you, maliza shule, upate degree. And even Skirui, Willy Paul, your music quality is waning of late. Take a break and come back with good quality music. This is below average, way below average. And another critic, Abel Masila, says, how is this song even gospel? God, degree, awards? Clearly, you just released this song with other intentions, which aren't gospel or church related. But Willy Paul got somebody to defend him on one post, and that is Gitutu Mwangi, who says, I wonder why people are criticizing Willy Paul. The guy is doing his thing and spreading the gospel in his way. People don't know how much work it takes to write or produce a song. His song Neno Mare.
All right, Brian, of course, wacha nimpashe basi Salim Swale.
Salim Swale pengine atuambie kama binguni watu wahitaji.
Wajua mimi si mtaalamu wa masuala ya burudani, lakini ninapenda kutofautiana na Willy Paul kwamba masomo yana nafasi yake katika maisha ya kila mtu, na kwamba ingekuwa ni muhimu yeye kama msanii ambaye ni chipukizi akawaasa vijana wajizatiti zaidi katika masomo. Ingawa tunakubaliana kwamba pia talanta ni sehemu nyingine ya mtu kuweza kujipatia kipaji, lakini ni makosa kusema kwamba pengine hauhitaji masomo kwa ajili ya kufanikiwa.
Salim Swale Magonga ndipo. Thank you. That was all I had from the news, trends and entertainment this hour. My name is Brian Okoth. Do have a fulfilling afternoon ahead, and for more entertainment stories log on to www.edaily.co.ke for the freshest scoop. Back to you and Kigel. And
that's where we end up. This is an extra in English. Salim continues in Swahili. Thanks so much for joining us, and goodbye.